It's a bustling modern-day metropolis, a port city that serves as Morocco's economic center. Casablanca is a business powerhouse, a place where some of the world's biggest corporations have set up shop. And these days, smaller players are making their move as well.
It really takes a lot of courage and a lot of perseverance.
Entrepreneurs and innovators leveraging tech, accessibility, and each other.
We have the capabilities to build worldwide, global level solutions.
To shape their own destinies while developing solutions that push Africa forward.
Our aim is to see our country in the future as a startup nation.
This is a look inside Morocco's startup ecosystem. This is Inside Africa.
Entrepreneurship is like this sport. It's dangerous. We can have an accident anytime, but we have to take a risk. And when we finish the course in the first position, we are happy about that, and we forget this risk.
Casablanca's Mehdi Alaoui knows a thing or two about winning. Since 2001, the serial entrepreneur has participated in many technology-themed competitions, won multiple awards, and launched several tech startups along the way, a journey he likens to a classic cartoon series.
It's not easy to be an entrepreneur and to succeed. When we wake up in the morning, we need to know as an entrepreneur that we will face many challenges and we are ready to find a solution. So basically what we need is to be perseverant and resilient. This is for me the two most important, quality of an entrepreneur. Usually I take this example of a cartoon that's called Beep Beep Coyote, where we have a coyote running all the time, trying to catch the beep beep. And what you know in this cartoon is this coyote have all the problem in the world. Sometimes he have a bomb exploded in his face. Sometimes you have a train that completely passed on him. But what usually people don't know is in the last episode of this cartoon, the coyote catch the beep beep. And this is the success story, and this is how an entrepreneur should take this adventure. He will face a lot of problems, but with perseverance and resilience, he will be able, to succeed and have his success story.
The tech-savvy visionary first made a splash with mobile development platform ScreenD, which he co-founded in 2012. Considered a revolution in the developer community because it allows users to conveniently and quickly create mobile apps, Mehdi still needed help to fully launch the platform.
In December 2015, I ran a hackathon here in this building where I invited, I think, 100 youth to come and to prototype application using ScreenD.
Hackathons are competition-style events that bring together groups of people to collaborate on a project, often focused on computer programming. That particular event helped Mehdi put the finishing touches on ScreenD, but also provided additional inspiration.
When I was working with this youth during the hackathon, it remembered me 20 years ago when I started my first startup. And I see how this youth have this passion to innovate, have this passion to redesign the world and invent the new Morocco.
His latest venture is called La Startup Factory. It's located in a cluster of buildings known as Techno Park in Casablanca's Sidi Marouf neighborhood.
What we was trying to do is super simple. We have corporates that have problem and they don't know how to solve it, and we have a startup that are innovative but they don't have clients. So what we do is we just bring both of components in the same place, in the same time, to help them to work together. Our mission is to facilitate that. We start that on January 2017, and from that day to today, we didn't rest at least one day. Today, we have one of the largest business angel group in Africa. We call it Business and Angel for Africa. So there is 50 active investors, and we have the chance to work with more than 1,000 startups in 10 different countries in Africa. And we was able to incubate 150 startups here physically in our space. And during this last year, we facilitate more than 103 contracts between startup and big corporates.
Part co-working space, part incubator, part accelerator. La Startup Factory's identity has many facets and a singular mission.
We still don't know exactly what we are. We know that we are an institution that wants to create a huge impact in the continent. A pragmatic impact. What we want is to create a sustainable ecosystem where our youth can create startups, can deploy innovation on the ground, and they can benefit from that. We have a lot of success stories of Moroccans coming from outside Morocco. And what we aim, what we want to see is a success story coming from Morocco and starting in Morocco, and it is possible.
It's early Saturday morning in Casablanca's Sidi Marouf neighborhood. Here in the offices of La Startup Factory, a 3-day event bringing together 40 startups from different cities in Morocco and Senegal is about to begin.
We are now in what we call a boot camp. It's a 3 days training where we help the startup to create what we call the pitch deck. The pitch deck is the most important document that help a startup, to pitch their idea and their business to anyone.
The objective? Collaborative innovation and empowering entrepreneurs. These early stage companies come from different backgrounds and target industries like real estate, food and business services.
I get some advices about targeting the market. So that was really helpful, and maybe start with the B2C and customers, private customers, to understand a bit more the problems before going developing solutions.
Startup founders like Anwar Alami hope bootcamps like this will land them a grant or loans to get their startup off the ground.
Investing in startup is still a very risky operation, because 90% of startups fail at the end of the day. But the few that succeed on the startup, they can build empire, and we can see it today.
That's why Mehdi Alawi believes in paying it back to help others move forward.
When we start in 2017, this kind of event was only for entrepreneurs that are accepted in our program. And now we record all this content and training, and we push it online for free for all the entrepreneurs in Morocco and in Africa.
A fledgling business will encounter many hurdles, but a common one young Moroccan entrepreneurs like Khawla Tanfoui may face is rooted in the past.
In our society, you're only successful when you are like a doctor, engineer, or you go to a business school. You have to work for a big corporate or something, so that means you are successful. It was actually hard to convince my mom, but then my dad was like, okay, just do whatever you want to do. As long as you're fine with it, do whatever you want to do.
In 2017, the then 23-year-old decided to go against the grain and launched her own business, much to the delight of her college roommates.
She had an idea, and then she pitched it, and then she followed her dream. Now it is paying off, and we see her like achieving a lot of success, and that for us is a great example.
Keeping up with her friends helps Khawla build the confidence to run her startup, Bots Factory, a company that uses artificial intelligence to create chatbots, software that automates conversations through messaging platforms.
It really takes a lot of courage and a lot of perseverance, really. Like from school to starting a business. Like I didn't have like any business background before, like no working experiences.
That's what led her to Casablanca 4 years ago.
The lifestyle here in Casablanca is stressing, but I think it's a good thing. Everybody's running, everybody's moving, so it is so motivating actually. I love being here.
And Mehdi Alaoui took her under his wing.
I have a very good relationship with Mehdi, so he's like a big brother, mentor for me. So I came here, I remember talking to him and I was crying. I don't know what to do. And oh my God, I want to start the business, but at the same time, what should I do? And he was like, just do it, go for it. It was the best decision I've ever made.
Today, Bots Factory has its own team of engineers, an expanding portfolio of corporate clients, and its own office space.
I was 23 years old. Some people, they don't take you seriously sometimes. They're like, oh, are you looking for an internship? I can talk to them. Well, just give me your curriculum vitae. I can give it to them. I'm like, I have look, I have a meeting with this person. Like, I have to go see them. And it was frustrating back then, but I'm like, I'm grateful for it and proud of the whole experience now.
In Morocco, a new ecosystem is starting to emerge.
Our ambition is to see our country and our continent as a startup nation.
The proliferation of hackathons, boot camps, collaborative spaces, university programs, and government initiatives are helping new companies get noticed, get funded, and get started. While there is room for improvement, the promise that Morocco offers to budding entrepreneurs is attracting attention from some of its neighbors.
Pour l'instant, c'est vraiment du 20h/24 parce qu'on a les deux pays. Le Maroc est en avance d'1 heure de temps.
We work 22 hours a day. We're 1 hour ahead of Senegal, so we have to wake up beforehand to be on time.
7-18 heures. Le temps de prendre la route.
We continue until 6 p.m., and after that, it's up to the Dakar teams to take over.
Senegalese startup Logidou recently opened up a new branch in Morocco. Co-founder and CEO Tamsir Traoré was born in Senegal, where the company still operates. But Morocco also holds a special place in his heart.
Des fois, il y a certains pays qui font de toi ce que tu es.
They say that some countries make you what you are.
La période adolescente.
For me, the most important part of my life was my adolescence, which I spent here. This is where I found my bearings, much more than in my home country, Senegal.
When he came up with the idea to build a logistics company whose mission is to connect supply chains throughout Africa and beyond, it made sense to go to a place that has been a crossroads of trade for centuries.
Le Maroc aujourd'hui est quand même une position géographique qui nous permet.
Morocco, due to its geographical position, is a sub-regional hub that connects sub-Saharan Africa to Europe. Morocco has all the assets to be a commercial hub.
Par rapport au restant des continents.
What do we need to do to pick up the package and deliver it here?
While logistics is Logidou's thing, it's not a traditional trucking company.
On a zéro camion et on n'en aura jamais. Notre force, c'est le réseau de prestataires.
We don't have trucks and we never will. Our strength is the network of providers that we have, and we are in the process of expanding it. We know what we are looking for, and we're now looking for more providers who will fit the bill.
Dans le pipe qu'on veut.
When a potential customer needs logistics help, they can use the company's platform to collect, compare, and purchase offers, and then track the entire process along the way.
Depuis le moment où on a ramassé le colis.
From the moment the merchandise is collected to the moment the merchandise arrives, the customer can follow the merchandise through the platform. They receive notifications and text messages. This allows them to follow the operation without worrying about anything, while being informed in real time.
Et même la décharge à la fin.
Tamsir's hope is to simplify and bring greater efficiency to an industry he believes needs a major upgrade.
Notre mission première, c'est vraiment...
Our primary mission is to provide a solution and connect the African market.
Le constat
The initial observation is that trade between African countries is very low. In the end, what ultimately interests the customer is to receive their merchandise.
de recevoir sa marchandise
They don't want to know how many intermediaries are behind it.
qu'il y a derrière.
He even won over an especially tough client, his father.
Je suis logisticien dans le sang. Mon père, hein,
I'm a logistician in my blood. My father is an old-school logistician. For him, nothing replaces paper. I remember a story where he asked me to calculate the duties and taxes for him.
les droits et taxes.
Automatically, he would ask me to call his accountant. I told him no. He told me, I don't trust your machine stories. We did the exercise and ended up with the same result.
Le même résultat. Pour moi, c'est une fierté.
For me, it's a pleasure to hear my father say that we have to think about a way to digitize this or that aspect of my business.
Justement.
And with a presence in 6 countries to date, the ambitious problem solver is confident that his company is on the right track.
Le corridor Maroc-Sénégal.
The Senegalese-Moroccan corridor on which we operate is only the beginning, and to start with 2 neighboring countries like Morocco and Senegal is a very good example.
Casablanca Finance City, a decade-old financial and business district designed to be a hub for multinational company headquarters. It is a first of its kind on the African continent. A 27-story building completed at the end of 2019 is in the center. The Casablanca Finance City Tower attracts foreign and local investors who desire access to the rest of Africa. But it is also attractive to young startups seeking to disrupt industries and solve societal problems.
My name is Badr Idrisi. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Atlant Space. We're building artificial intelligence to allow drones to navigate autonomously without human pilots and perform missions beyond the horizon and beyond visual line of sight. This is what we're trying to achieve with Atlant Space.
Early in his career, Badr Idrisi went the big company route, working for companies like Microsoft, Siemens and Nokia. But he always had an entrepreneurial spirit.
It was always an objective to create a company and to be able to build something. The Atlant Space journey started in December 2015, just after the signature of the Paris Agreement. With Younes Moumen, who is the co-founder and CTO, we had a genuine discussion about our generation's legacy. And we were shocked to know that during our lifetime, if we don't do anything, rhinoceroses and elephants will disappear from Africa. We also were deeply impacted by the fact that worldwide, more than 20% of the world fisheries are illegal.
$1.4 billion is what illegal fishing is costing West Africa every year.
Coming from Morocco, which is a coastal country where fishing represents a huge portion of our culture, but also of our economy. So we decided to act. We started understanding and analyzing the different technologies that are used by government to fight illegal fishing, and we found that developed countries are using light planes and satellites to monitor the ocean, means and technologies that are not available for developing countries. And we started analyzing and investigating what technologies can be used in developing countries to fight illegal fishing.
Drones were an obvious choice, but it didn't take long to discover their limitations.
We found that the current technology of drones is limited by the visual line of sight. Drones cannot go beyond horizon for technical issues. So the transmission equipment is the first barrier to using drones in monitoring the ocean. The second barrier is the human expertise. For every drone, we needed a pilot. It's acceptable to find a pilot when you are flying one drone, but imagine you have a project where you need to monitor 1 million square kilometer of exclusive economic zones, and you would need like 20 pilots or 30 pilots for 30 drones. You will not be able to find them easily in developing countries. This is when the real work began. So we decided to remove the need for a pilot for every drone, replacing it by an operator that can manage up to 20-30 drones simultaneously. This also allowed us to go beyond horizon. We are also able to send real-time information about what's happening, because the AI is taking pictures and analyzing in real time what's happening and transmitting a transcript to the authorities so they can intervene for illegal activities in the ocean.
In 2018, the groundbreaking technology was recognized with the Marine Protection Prize by the National Geographic Society, which included an award of $150,000. 5 years in, there is plenty of reason to celebrate the company's success. But the CEO says there's more work to be done.
We don't think that we succeeded yet. This journey is still very long, and there are different objectives that we should achieve and we need to achieve. So we don't consider that we have succeeded. Our success is measured by the impact we're having on a sustainability level when the technology is deployed in a country, or on a humanitarian level when the technology is deployed to support distressed populations. So this is the objective for us.
Startups may be small, but their success can have a big impact on countries by forcing them to evolve their thinking through advancing technology and positively changing the way people live. And while Morocco's startup ecosystem continues to find its footing, there is promise in the groundbreaking work being laid out by these Casablanca-based entrepreneurs.
What we see is we have a lot of youth and talent that can innovate.
My purpose is to inspire more little girls, more women to be tech entrepreneurs, because they can. Women are so smart. Come on, like we can do IT.
We have an ecosystem that is already here, which allows us to go faster and compete with all the connected markets.
In a country such as Morocco, we are a market that is not small, but is not very big. We're in the middle of the two, and I strongly believe that we have the capabilities to build worldwide, global level solutions.